But the elephant in the room is definitely the fact that we probably have a problem in a big crack, into which most people fall and are falling through in our societies and communities, which is the mental health crack. Everybody seems to be falling through this crack when it comes to the psychopathic killers who are doing all of these mass shootings on TV and in all these other different places in our country. The most disrespectful thing in the world to me is when a family suffers a loss through violence. Usually some criminal element or crazy person going somewhere where innocent people are and shooting up everything that they see in sight. And then some politician, some left-leaning whatever gets on TV and says, don't worry about the killer, we're gonna focus on the gun. Don't worry about the person that just killed and bodied your whole family, let's focus on the gun. As if that's the epitome and the core of where all problems stem from. As if that's the grassroots of where all our violence problems lie, in an inanimate object. Come on, you guys are smarter than that. We smarter than that. But the elephant in the room is definitely the fact that we probably have a problem in a big crack, into which most people fall and are falling through in our societies and communities, which is the mental health crack. Everybody seems to be falling through this crack when it comes to the psychopathic killers who are doing all of these mass shootings on TV and in all these other different places in our country. And even though we are not dealing with that problem at all, the liberal media stands up and they take a stance of, we're not going to so much focus on the person behind the gun doing the killing, we're going to focus on the actual object that they're using to kill people. And in defense, us as pro-Second Amendment and gun guys who demonstrate ourselves responsible every day in carrying and handling firearms, step back and say, wait a minute, in defense, we need to focus on the mental health of the person, the individual that's doing that. What is causing them to do that? What's driving a person to be that psychotic as to go and kill up school children? How do we deal with that individual and making sure they don't get their hands on any type of weapons to do such horrendous things? Most of us as firearms owners and Second Amendment guys took that stance, focusing on the mental health part versus the firearm, as we should, and as I could completely understand. But if that is the position we're going to take, if that is the stance that we're going to take on this issue, which is the mental health part and keeping those guns out of the hands of mentally ill people who would do something like that, then what I want to do is evolve in that stance and evolve in that thinking. And I want us to think and challenge ourselves in that thinking in regards to what that would actually look like being implemented and how to actually implement something like that. I don't have the answers to things like that. I don't. Is there an answer out there? Absolutely. Is it a simple answer that somebody would write in the comment section? Absolutely. That simple, and it is available. I just don't have that answer. But at the end of the day, what are we looking at? What I'm looking at is, if we were to go through and implement something like that, how would it look? My problem is, who creates the boundaries of mental health? Who is the one who decides this is where the lines are drawn? This is what is acceptable mental health wise, and this is what is unacceptable. That line that will be drawn cannot be legislated by liberal legislators. It can't be made by a Democratic legislator. That line that will be drawn cannot be drawn and legislated by far right, extreme right-leaning Republicans. It just can't, because along the way there's going to be the majority of the people in the middle that's missed. I don't want this to be drawn up and shaped in some way that it's going to defuse and hurt a lot of other people from owning guns only because somebody's going to stamp off and label them as mentally deficient. We have some thinking to do on this issue.